So what can we actually learn from the day a machine first beat a human world champion? Well, this is the story of Garry Kasparov. He's the guy who lost that historic chess match, but in that very defeat, he found this incredible vision for our future with AI. We're going to dive into his book, Deep Thinking. Everything really hinges on this one date, May 11th, 1997. And you have to understand, this wasn't just some chess match. For a lot of people, this felt like a major turning point. You know, a real battle for the dignity of the human mind against its own creation. So on one side of the board, you've got Garry Kasparov. He's the undisputed world champion, a total symbol of human intuition, creativity, and that kind of deep strategic thinking. And on the other side, IBM's Deep Blue, a literal silicon box that could calculate 200 million moves every single second. This was a clash of two totally different kinds of intelligence. You know, Kasparov himself put it perfectly. He said it was like a village wrestler fighting a 100-ton bulldozer. I mean, think about it. The wrestler has skill, experience, maybe a few tricks up his sleeve, but the bulldozer, it just has raw, overwhelming, unstoppable power. That's the kind of challenge he was facing. Okay, but here's the really wild part. It's how Kasparov lost. So in the second game, Deep Blue makes this move that was completely out of left field, almost human. It looked like it had this deep, long-term strategy. And Kasparov, he was completely rattled. He started suspecting IBM was cheating. He overthought every single move after that, looking for these hidden meanings that just weren't there. And the twist? That brilliant move was a total accident, a random software bug. So he wasn't beaten by the machine's genius. He was beaten by his own mind's interpretation of a machine's mistake. So this crushing defeat forced Kasparov to ask a really fundamental question. Was the machine actually thinking? Or was it doing something else entirely? And this led him to a huge insight about the difference between human and artificial intelligence. He realized that Deep Blue wasn't thinking at all. It was just calculating. It was using what's called brute force. Basically, it treated the game like a giant math problem, running through billions of combinations to find the one with the highest chance of winning. It's kind of like a super advanced calculator. It can do math way faster than any human, but it has zero understanding of what the numbers actually mean. And this quote just brilliantly sums up the core difference he felt. The machine is a master of what? What's the best move? What is the most statistically likely path to victory? But the human is the master of why. Why is this position strong? Why does this strategy even matter in the first place? So here's the bottom line. The machine does the hard work, all that number crunching. But the human does the smart work, understanding the big picture. You see, the machine is all about the process, but the human is the one who provides the purpose. And that little distinction, it changes absolutely everything. So instead of seeing machines as the enemy, Kasparov started to wonder, what if we teamed up with them? This one question led him to create a totally new kind of chess. He was ready to move from a man versus machine world to a man plus machine future. He called this experiment advanced chess. The rules were really simple. Human players could team up with any computer they wanted. He gave these human-machine teams a pretty cool name too, centaurs. You know, like the mythical half-human, half-horse creature. The results of this tournament were just completely shocking. I mean, everybody assumed that the best grandmaster paired with the most powerful supercomputer would just dominate the whole thing. It makes sense, right? But that is not what happened. Not even close. The victors were a team of amateur chess players using a regular off-the-shelf computer. So how on earth did they win? Well, they didn't have the best human, and they didn't have the best machine. What they had was the best process for working together. Their collaboration was simply better than everyone else's. So their winning strategy kind of looked like this. The human acted like the CEO, right? They set the overall mission, and they asked the big why questions about strategy. The machine played the role of the brilliant analyst, just crunching data, providing all the tactical options, and flagging potential mistakes. That's the what. And then at the end, the human CEO made the final call, combining the machine's cold calculations with their own purpose and understanding. This discovery pointed Kasparov towards an even bigger idea, a deeper truth about what really makes us unique in an age of these incredibly smart machines. Turns out there are some things that AI just can't copy. So just think about it for a second. Machines can spit out answers at lightning speed, But what's the one thing they might never, ever be able to do on their own? Ask a good question. That's it. Machines are answer engines. They're built on the data we feed them. But that spark of true curiosity, the thing that leads to a profound question about why things are the way they are, or if they could be different, that is a uniquely human thing. This is where our real superpower is. It's not in calculation. It's in curiosity. It's in true creativity. And by that, I mean breaking the rules, not just remixing old patterns. It's in wisdom, which is just knowing how and when to apply knowledge. And of course, it's in things like purpose and empathy, the very stuff that gives our actions meaning. So, what does this all mean for our future? Well, Kasparov's whole journey gives us this really powerful and optimistic way to look at it. The rise of AI isn't our doom. It's a choice. It's a choice about what kind of future we actually want to build. This is probably the best analogy I'd ever heard for our relationship with AI. It's our GPS. It can show us the fastest route, it can warn us about traffic, it can offer alternatives, but we, the humans, we still have to choose the destination. We have to decide where we actually want to go. And this is really the heart of Kasparov's message. AI isn't here to make us obsolete. It's here to free us. It's here to liberate us from all the repetitive, calculating, machine-like work so that we have more time and energy to focus on being more creative, more strategic, more empathetic, basically, more human. Ultimately, Kasparov's greatest insight, the one born from that historic defeat, is that we've been asking the wrong question all along. The real challenge ahead of us, it's not about building smarter and smarter machines. It's about becoming wiser humans. That's the real game. And in that game, our future is still very, very much in our own hands.